Hey guys, welcome back to the RCC Media YouTube channel. Today with us we have Mr. Saim and Zahid, captain of the RCC Stallions. Hey Saim, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to start off, confident team, experienced team. What are your thoughts so far after, especially the scrimmage we just had after a long time? What are your thoughts on your team? An evaluation check possibly for your team?
Uh, we have we have some things to work on, but honestly, no one was taking that scrimmage seriously. Neither was I. It was my first day back. Just wanted to get together with the team, have some fun. It's been a while since I played cricket. Really enjoyed the game. So I don't really put any expectations on anyone. I just wanted to see the new guy play. That's all I was there for.
You said you're gonna take some time and practice. Is that what you said?
Not me specifically, but I would also like to see other of my players practice. I've been talking to some of them, and they said they will practice.
Okay.
Okay, so since you said that you want other players to practice and you want to practice as well, then why you not taking the scrimmages seriously? Because scrimmages are a good way to practice.
That's because it was the first one back, and it really wasn't my goal to focus on my performance. I just want to see because we had two new players. I just wanted to see how they would do, and that's what I was focused on.
Do
And
you
I
think
want
do you think other players in your team would think the same you're thinking right now, taking the scrimmage lightly?
I can't really speak for them, but trust me, after a lot of things in my life have stopped, I will focus more on cricket because there's a lot going on. So, but there will be time for cricket because the
So,
tournament is a month away, and I'm starting my training as soon as my games are over for soccer.
so is cricket now your first priority right now?
No,
Okay. And do you think it will affect your team that you, as a captain of a cricket club and cricketing team, will it affect your peers?
no, because I remember the first days of this team when this club was being created. I told someone, I think it was you, Robert, that studies will obviously come first, and that's what I'm focused on right now because I have to track back a lot. I missed like a few days, and then because of my games, I missed the test and stuff. So I'm just focused on my studies right now, and that will always come first before cricket.
Okay.
So
And that's
talking
what I've
about
told
the
the
tournament.
stallions. Yeah, go ahead.
You're talking about the tournament. We're seeing a handful of scrimmages, maybe this next week, and then after that, maybe one more, and then the warm-up games come in. So it's scrimmages, according to me, are the best time to see how opponent teams are playing because I think I'm pretty sure they will take it seriously. So the next scrimmage and then the next scrimmage after that, are you gonna take it in a way that I have to, see other teams' weaknesses or other players' weaknesses?
I I definitely will now because well, I just also saw your video, the one you posted. I saw that video just right now a few minutes ago, and I did not know scrimmages were also being judged. So I'm definitely gonna make teams according to that from now on
Uh,
to
I,
put players like
okay,
that.
okay. I have a question. What made you think that scrimmages are not being judged?
Because I thought only tournaments were being judged, because that's what
No,
actually matters.
but how are we gonna scout the players? Like based on their tournament experience or based on their overall? Because they might perform one tournament, they might not perform
But
other
what
tournaments.
counts? I'll judge
I
them by
mean,
what counts.
most of the captains look at scrimmages because that's the one we mostly play, and to check if the players are informed. Like you asked Vedansh, Nikith, uh, Jam as well. They go by scrimmages. So, is there a different way you're looking at it? Is that how you got Arjun and Araf in your team?
You also have to make sure how players react to pressure, because which no offense to Arjun, which he's really bad at, and hopefully he fixes. But most of my players, not most, I would say only Arjun, and sometimes even me. I'm not gonna say it wasn't me. We crack under pressure, and we get frustrated. Like I remember last scrimmage, Arjun, he obviously bowls pace. he got hit for a shot, right? Or he messed up. Suddenly he slowed his pace down and boom, another six. So it's important to look at how players also react under pressure because during practice, nothing matters, right? Like if you go out, if you get out, if you don't get out, it doesn't matter. So they don't have that pressure. So I will also see how they react in the tournament, which Arjun did well last tournament.
Yeah, so I mean, talking about Arjun, I'm taking scrimmages in count because that's the one we regularly play. Past few scrimmages, he's giving that one over where the game's out of his team's hands. That one over goes for a lot. Considered one of the best bowlers in the club, and we're seeing his what do you call his performance declining. Are you talking to him thoroughly with that? Because especially when you spent so much value on Arjun, especially in the auction, sorry. So are you trying to talk about him with that, or are you taking that lightly because of scrimmage?
Not yet, but it's definitely a concern. And it wasn't only just in scrimmage. He has done this in a tournament, but again, when he did it, I went talked to him. I was like, continue your pace. Don't get cracked under pressure. And he performed. I think he just needs a little someone to guide him to that direction, but he's a great bowler. He just needs to master him, like not getting into pressure and stuff like that.
I have a question. What makes you think that you're the perfect guide for a player like Arjun? Because Arjun himself also has a lot of experience, cricketing experience.
Because Arjun likes me. And I like Arjun. He's a good guy, and I consider him a friend.
Okay.
So he does listen to me. He listens to my advice and stuff, and vice versa. I listen to him, and
Okay, so
I've
talk
performed
yeah.
well because of him too. Sorry.
It's
So
all right.
talking more in depth about the tournament and your team, I just want to bring that point up. I'm taking scrimmages in hand. There was a scrimmage that was played before the yesterday's, I mean, 2 days ago scrimmage. That scrimmage, we saw exact core players. We saw Araf, Arjun, you against Vedansh, Jairam, and Abhinav. I remember that scrimmage because that's the scrimmage where you saw Arjun declining, and that's the scrimmage where you saw Abhinav increasing as an all-rounder. That scrimmage was horribly lost against your team. You guys scored about 70 runs in that scrimmage batting first. Vedansh got out, duck out, and then Abhinav scored 22 runs off 5 balls against Arjun, which and plus with Jam's partnership as well. So you're seeing that exact two core teams playing against each other twice in this tournament. What's something different and maybe another plan you might take in order to stop from what's happening in the past?
So what I would want to do, because obviously my team they lack bowling right now, but I obviously Araf isn't the best bowler, but I have faith in him. He'll pull through. But what I would do is just I it's all about what Arjun can do, honestly, because with bowling I rely on him heavily. And I know that might not sound like a good thing, but it's just what I have to do because this is a situation I'm presented with. Because previously my plan was to work on Jay's bowling because I saw some glimpses of it actually being good. So I had Jay, but obviously because of his injury, I was put back and I had to get her off. And so I'm just gonna focus on Arjun's bowling.
You're talking about Jay, who's a complete batsman, and he wanted to work thoroughly on his bowling. When you right now currently have a developed bowler, experienced bowler Arav, how are you gonna combine these three ingredients? You as a complete batsman, Arjun as a complete bowler, and Arav as a complete bowler. Plus the elements of Arjun starting to decline a little bit, and Arav trying to get back from decline.
Sorry, you cut out. Can you repeat it? The last part?
I was saying that there's completely three different elements trying to combine into a team. A complete batsman, you, and you're seeing an Arjun, one of the best bowlers in the club, starting to decline, and you're seeing Araf coming back from a decline. So there's these complete three different elements that are trying to clash with each other in order to combine into a team. So as a captain, what are you gonna do to make sure that it's stable?
That's a good question. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that, especially the lineup matters to me. How I'm gonna use Araf and Arjun with bowling, and I hope that it will work because I know the batsmen that love Arjun. They will just hit on Arjun no matter how much he tries. So that's where I will put Araf. So the lineup matters the most. Looking at the situation, I'm gonna put in each player, including myself. I've been also working on my bowling, and if it's extremely needed, I will step up. I'm not afraid to step up. And this tournament as a whole is all about getting my players better. That includes each of the captains and everyone in other teams too. I want them to improve too, because as collective, you're still a team.
I'm going more about your team, and obviously, I'm going by data and stats as well. Arjun is that type of, based off of data, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
Arjun is that type of bowler that sets the pressure up in front, and RF is that bowler, sorry. When the pressure's already there, he's that bowler that breaks the pressure with immense wickets. So when Arjun does not give that performance, that good performance up in front, it makes a situation for RF more difficult because he's not built of a bowler that does not put pressure. He's a bowler that releases the pressure and brings wickets to your team. So when are you? I mean, you're saying you're heavily relying on Arjun right now. Is there anything that you can do in this tournament to make sure, safe side, that if Arjun does perform bad, like he's been doing consistently, to make sure it doesn't affect your team and for you losing games?
So for that, I will have to make sure that Araf is mentally ready. I've told him that if Arjun doesn't perform well, I will need you to step up. But even if that doesn't happen, I need to make sure I select good draft players. Whoever I get in the draft, I need to make sure that they're good at bowling or batting,
Okay, okay.
depending on what I need.
So based off draft, so what I have a question. It's a simple question. What would be your approach going into the draft picks? Well, what is the thing you're looking for most in your players that you are going to pick for your draft?
And sorry to add on one more thing.
Okay.
Right now, currently, I mean, it's the last day for the trading period. You have not released a player yet, which indicates that you don't want a power up, which you had the ability to have a power up. So adding on that element, how would you answer Dhruv's question?
What was your question, Drew?
So my question was, what are you going to look the most in the players that you're gonna pick in your draft?
Just the ability to just play the game seriously, depending on the situation. Like, just give it your best, because there's obviously some player, I'm not gonna say names, even last scrimmage, they were like, even the target of 72, right? They were like, oh, they're gonna finish this in 2 overs. I don't need that kind of mindset on the team. If you're gonna have that mindset, I cannot work with you. Just gonna be looking at the mindset and the bowling, if because that's probably what I'm gonna need.
Okay.
Yeah, so adding on to that, uh, for draft picks, especially more deep dive into the tournament, you're a team that currently right now doesn't have any power ups. Unless you release RF, then you'll gain a power up. Seems to be that you're not gonna release RF because there's another couple of more hours before you release RF and gain that power up. Um,
Wait,
how are you
did
gonna how are you gonna tackle through this? Because you and Jerem are the only team that doesn't have a power up, and Jerem's team looking much more balanced on paper than your team, or even on the ground. How are you gonna tackle through this?
so wait, who does I have a follow-up question to that. Who does did Niket release Deepish?
Yes,
Oh yeah.
he
So as of
Who
this
did he get?
morning, so
he
as of
can't
this
get it.
morning, he has not decided to disclose who he has gotten.
But has he picked?
You can't pick until tomorrow and until day after tomorrow and tomorrow.
Yeah.
What will be the process of picking?
Process of picking will be messaging me as an organizer of the tournament, and it's a first come first serve.
So
Okay.
you'll have to make your bid right now, and your pick will be announced tomorrow, basically. and it will probably be through our YouTube channel, like by medium of me or Abraham.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, once you release supposedly RF, Drew will obviously make the announcement for the whole club to hear that RF's been released. And then if that's the deadline for that is today, and then tomorrow and the day after tomorrow is getting a player to fulfill your three players, and that is by messaging me saying that I want this player, and if you message me first, you get that player.
And currently, Vedant is without a second player, right? Has
Third
he
player.
picked someone? Third player, yeah, without third player. Has he picked?
Again, you can't pick yet.
Yeah, okay. Because I thought he left, he had a third player, but you left, so wouldn't he get the first pick?
It's a first come first serve again. It's
Oh,
not as if you know
okay,
I'm
yeah,
gone and then someone
Okay.
comes in, but more
Okay.
about your tournament, more about your team in the tournament.
Sam.
yeah, sure.
Sam, by the way, so what you like all this questioning right now shows that you might be kind of an ignorant captain. So do you think no, I'm just saying. It shows that you might have been kind of an ignorant captain now looking at what's happening in the tournament or what's happening in regarding the tournament. So do you think that will affect your team?
No, I'm not an ignorant. I'm confident. Again, I might be overconfident. You never know, but I'm confident in the ability of my players.
So what elements do you I mean, how are you confident? What makes you so confident? Because on the field right now, I supposedly do believe that RF and Arjun are giving their best, and it's not been going well.
They're
What
not
makes
giving
you
their best. I don't know what people are looking at.
What makes you think they're not trying to give their best?
Because first, they're barely confident. They crack under pressure easily. One bad bowl from Arjun, you can see the frustration on his face. And
And
one missed and one wide ball from whenever Araf's batting, right? He misses an easy ball. You can see the frustration on his face too.
but
They're
but
not giving their best.
but doesn't that frustration translate to the fact that they're trying to give their best?
if they wouldn't care if they're get playing so that bad, and yeah, I
But
mean
that's
exactly
a
what it's
point
Drew's
they
saying.
need to that's a point that they need to get better at, which I've told them and which they agreed on. That both of them do get frustrated easily. So
So for
them disregarding what they're supposed to be doing, not getting frustrated easily is them not giving their best. They're not fully ready. This is not what they each can perform. This is not Urgent's best. This is not even close to Urgent's best.
so what do you
And which
think Arjun's
all Urgent's best,
yes,
like
what
before
is
I was in Pakistan and stuff, like before we started playing on the new ground, everything was the tournament. Like before the tournament, Arjun was at good. He was
okay,
at
so
peak. He was
let's
good.
let's talk let's talk about this. You're saying Arjun was a good player. Uh what made him so good? Because we as I didn't know Arjun, you didn't know Arjun. So what progressively made him so good? Is it practice from scrimmages that he's taking seriously?
Or is it the fact that hadn't played much against him, so that made his bowling kind of unpredictable? So, what of this factor would you say made
What
him
made Arjun good? Wait, are y'all asking about the mental aspect or like the physical aspect?
overall
No,
aspect?
both. Yeah, overall.
Overall
Both
aspect.
overall. Well, I would say his pace. His pace, that's one of the things that makes him really good. But again, with the mental aspect, I would say again, it's just mental. He is not really a strong mental player, where it obviously matters because it has happened to me too. But I can relate to that. But mentally, he has to be prepared too. But I would just say his pace is what made him stand out to me. I like him as a bowler.
Okay.
I've talked with Arjun. I mean, not about this tournament or team, just generally, fast bowler to fast bowler. He doesn't have any mental stress. I feel like when he's going to the game, he's pretty calm and cool and he bowls. If he does give a bad performance, he shakes it off because, we've seen his potential and he knows his potential as well. So I don't see the mental distress that he has, especially with RF too, because I certainly believe that RF is the most calmest player in this club right now we have.
Yeah.
I mean, the confidence why you're talking about, again, that
But
doesn't answer my question of
wait, what was the question?
what makes you so confident that, I mean, do you think you're going to win the tournament?
Me, yes.
What makes you so confident?
Our ability, our potential. All three of my players' potential, including me.
And where do you see that potential?
What do you mean where I see that potential?
I mean, you have to see the potential somewhere, right? Are they showing it on
Like
field?
there has to be an X factor that stood out
Previous
to you.
performances.
Yeah, what about
Where?
previous
From
performances?
scrimmages? From
From scrimmages, even from
But
tournaments.
but you just
But
said
you just said scrimmages are not taking
yeah,
so hardly to you.
and
To me, to me.
yeah. So how are you judging your
I
players
said
based
I
on
don't
that?
play. I said I didn't play scrimmages fully 100% locked in.
Also, 2 seconds ago, you said that Arjun and RF not giving their best because they're also taking scrimmages pretty lightly too.
Yeah.
When did I say that, bro?
You said that two seconds
You
ago.
just said that like when I was questioning you, you just said that. Look
I
again,
said that. I just said that they were mentally not locked in.
but you said that 2 seconds ago before
That they were not mentally locked in.
after you said the statement that Abram, it's okay. Let's move on from that. Let's now talk about release players. So right as of right now, we only have one release player, Deepish. So I just want to ask, would you be considering him for your draft picks? Like after what he said in his interview about you.
Yeah, that really made me sad. Not even mad, just disappointed because I trusted him, bro. I took him in my team. You have no idea how much work I put in him. I even texted him sometimes telling him he's okay. You gotta work on it, bro. You're fine. I told him even in person, you're like one of the best bowlers here. And seeing him or even hearing from y'all talking smack about me, it was really not not it, and I was just disappointed. And I would consider him for a draft pick because he is a good bowler. Again, bowler, not a batsman. He needs to stop believing he's a batsman.
Okay, so
Yeah,
now what makes you like? What do you believe is the factor that made him talk smack about you in his interview?
I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe because I didn't give him batting.
So, or do you
let's talk more about RF. I mean, especially when the trading period's about to end,
Yeah.
concluding. What do you see in RF? You talk about potential. He's already experienced as he could be. As experienced as probably you. So what do you want more from RF? What do you already see in RF? And how can you utilize RF, especially with the team
It's
that you have
just
right now?
That's a good question. It's just in a rough, I see like he wants to play the game. I rarely seen a meetup where he hasn't showed up without unannounced. He's always there, and I've seen him practicing too. He's told me he's been practicing. What I seen him is just a want to play the game, and he respects cricket too, and he shows up. And to me, it's just that for him to get better, he needs to just work on his bowling and have like just he needs to know that even if he performs one game bad, no one will judge him for that, because even though in the field he may seem calmed or not or don't say anything to you, but I talk to him after the game almost every scrimmage, and I've seen what he's thinking, and I've given him the confidence, hopefully, that even if he does perform bad this tournament, I will not count that against him because at least he has more experience now.
Are you valuing as a captain of more of the player's skill or more of the player's commitment and dedication towards the club when picking them in your team?
Commitment and dedication, like, or
So
even
even
Arjun, he's always there.
yeah, so even maybe you, Deepish, and Ara, for example, do you guys think based off of commitment, dedication would have won the tournament?
Sorry, could you repeat that? You cut out.
So we talk about dedication, and I think
Yeah.
Deepish has been coming consistently as well. A lot, 80% of the time. You're saying RF also obviously coming in. Do you think you three, if you didn't buy Arjun, would have won the tournament? Always
Us
made a
three,
top two. Yes.
yes. With
Yeah.
dedication, commitment, bro, trust, like that mental thing in sport. Just I'm talking about this from experience because I've played multiple different sports. It's like 30-40% a mental game. You got to be mentally locked in. You have to believe that you can do it.
Yeah, but that 60-70% is skill. And right
They
now,
have
based
the
off of
skill.
yeah, but I mean, talking about you, Arjun and Arav, taking scrimmages seriously. I've seen what's
Yeah,
happening
so
to the past few matches. It's been declining for Arjun and re-growing back from Arav.
That's partly, I would agree, that's partly my fault too, because I also need to stay locked in for the scrimmages too, and I will. And I've been practicing. I've been trying to practice whenever I get the time, which is really cramped up right now. And of course, it's cramped up for everyone, but I just like to space out my time, give time to everything. And right now, cricket's been on the sideline for too long, and I am trying to lock in on the scrimmages and tell the rest of my players to lock in too.
Okay, so you're saying Arjun and Arav are not locked in enough yet for them to be performing that well.
I can't speak for them, but that's what it looks like because you can't be giving me 27 runs in an over. If because he's not a bad bowler, forever. Every bowler doesn't have his day, but obviously, like your stats says, he hasn't been consistent enough.
Okay.
oh yeah,
I want to talk about more, about the decisions you took for the tournament. Starting with picking Nikit as a captain and possibly not Arjun. And why did you remove Rehan?
I removed Rehan because I messaged Rehan. You can even ask him that. I was like, "Do you want to be a captain?" And he's like, "He plays better when he's not captain." So I was like, "Okay." It was
Uh,
his choice, and I chose Nikit just because at that time he seemed the best choice. I could have picked Abhinav,
he
but
he hasn't. I mean, Nikit hasn't captain at all in this club. I mean, I've seen him captain, but you haven't seen him captain enough. Practically, even not even 1%.
I haven't
Seen him
seen any of
captain.
these captains except for Vedant's captain.
So yeah, what made you pick him over Arjun when Arjun's already captain enough and has 100 times more experience than Nikit has?
100 times? Okay. Well, I didn't pick Urgent's. I didn't pick Urgent because it was just simply a matter of the fact that Urgent is. I don't want to throw shade at anyone, but I don't think he could be like a calm captain or because he's a good player. He's an amazing player, but whenever I've seen some elements in him, which I won't go deeper into, that does not allow him to be a captain.
But he's won scrimmages and captained. I mean, apart from you, always captaining scrimmages, he's the next captain to captain more scrimmages. So
Again, I won't go deeper into that. I
calmness
saw what I
also
saw.
is obviously a good factor, but it's obviously a good factor. But talking about him winning matches with probably you're saying now aggression, still not consideration for future scrimmages possibly.
No, because
so guys, we'll do a part two after we get 10 likes on this video. So as of right now, bye and subscribe to the channel.